What's up, guys? It's Mr. SLIN doing a Pocket POV demo review. This is EVL Gaming versus Ronin. We're going to be watching our friend Rando, who is one of the best pocket soldiers in the world right now. Currently on the best team in North America, Ronin, they just defeated Froyotech last week on Granary. And Froyotech, if you guys know, if you're following along the seasons, last season they won ESEA Season 21, so they were the best team in North America that season. Ronin got second place, but this season they're looking to make a comeback there and reclaim the title of North American champions. So we are very early on in the season. This is week 2, and this is a team that doesn't really need much of an introduction because Ronin has been together for a couple seasons now, and the general roster has stayed mostly the same. Obviously, Nursey is in as medic now instead of 404, but the general team has stayed the same the entire time. And we're going to be watching Rando because I want to talk to you guys about just how good he is at the game and just, oh my god, please, the mic spam is please high five, not right now. Rando likes to run shotgun pocket, but his pacing is just very, very good. You notice when he plays the game, he likes to keep his enemies in front of him. He doesn't let a lot of things get behind him there. And oh, right away, he's hitting a bunch of rockets onto Delpo, pushing him back towards Valley. So this is really good for his team. He's got full control of the underneath area. Sen's trying his best to collapse on the top left side, but he ends up going down there. Ronin doesn't lose. They don't lose a single player on that mid fight. So really nicely done by them. And Rando's keeping the pressure on there by chasing Scissor out. Almost secures that second kill there. If he would have gotten that, that might have opened up an opportunity for Mela to maybe sacrifice in the last and get a force onto Zilly. They still could do that here if they want to. Looks like they're just going to take the 4th point for free and slow it down a bit so they don't make any mistakes. And EVL respawning all their players up here. Looks like they're running Scissor on Sniper and Sen on Heavy. So Ronin going to play it nice and slow. Sugar trades 1-for-1 with High Five, which is a decent one-man sacrifice, but the real goal of that is to swap Strugger over to Sniper. So while he does that, while he respawns, we're going to talk a little bit more about Rando. Again, I really like the way he plays. You want to play a controlled play style. You want to play in such a way where you're not putting your medic in danger, Nursey's not in danger. You want to make sure that your demo man Badonski's not in danger. And the way that he does this, he waddles around a lot. You'll see him walking around slowly. He's not making a lot of big jumps, but what he is doing is controlling the battlefield with just the way that he's just throwing his weight around. It's just like you kind of just move yourself slowly across. And by running that shotgun, it's got a lot of advantages there. And Rando is proof that shotgun pocket is still alive and well, and that you can be one of the top teams in the world just by running a shotgun here on your pocket. Not just by doing that, obviously, but like you don't have to run gunboat's pocket is what I'm trying to say. The benefit of running shotgun pocket is that it gives you that little bit of extra finishing power when you go in for a play, as Sugar gets picked off there, but it also gives you more control over scouts. At this level of the game, scouts are very good at jumping around, dodging rockets, and having that shotgun gives you that consistency that you need to deny them out of the air. And I'll tell you a little bit more about what I mean later on in this match when I spot it. But right here, he's trying his best to stall second point as long as he can. High Five looking like he might want to go for a push here, and with that kill onto Mela on the flank, that's definitely going to trigger the push out of High Five. So Rando's trying to stall. He doesn't want to exchange Ubers. He wants to delay that as long as he can because he wants to give Sugar as much time as possible to return to the battle and roll out to 4th point. Rando is actually almost got it. Okay, so the thing is with that play right there, he looked like he had a much better Uber there, right? High Five took a long time to get a rocket onto Nursey and force the Uber, and Rando could have chased. You saw that when he did the rocket jump, he jumped into the back side of High Five and just could not get in. But if he would have had that extra rocket, he might have been able to secure something on either onto Delpo, or Delpo would have been hard, but like maybe he could have chased out High Five and gotten a kill there. So, but looks like they're able to get a kill anyways, though. Shrugger amazing on Sniper. Does get the win versus Scissor, who's a very, very strong Highlander Platinum Sniper who's very good at the game. But Shrugger gets a second kill there on Descent. That's going to trigger the push. Rando, he knew there was a gun, but I guess he just didn't realize how close it was, or maybe he just didn't really know where it was. He ends up committing his entire body to that push and falls to the sentry gun. Really unfortunate there. I think what he was trying to go for was just like edging his way around the corner and getting some rockets on the gun, and with him and Badonski peeking it, they could take it down by spamming it together. But unfortunately that gun was a little bit too strong, and now EVL are trying to push on the 2nd point here as they have a bit of an exchange, 2-on-2 exchange. And Rando's shotgun out. See, this is what I'm talking about here. See, Sen's just jumping around, dodging those rockets, and Rando pulls out a shotgun and is able to secure the kill thanks to that shotgun there. So it does help out a lot in certain situations. And with that kill, Ronin are going to push their way forward, and they do get the kill there onto Zilly in the right side lobby. So I like what Rando's doing here. He's walking in behind Nursey, and what that does is it guarantees that his team plays together. Don't be afraid to walk behind your medic, especially when you're just trying to stay grouped up as a team. And as soon as their medic goes down, you know they're going to go for your medic. So Rando, by walking through his medic, walking behind him, he secures that kill on the high five, and they're able to secure this round. He did rush his push into last a little bit. I don't think he was expecting the amount of firepower that was going to come out of that scout soldier at last. And he was kind of hurt as he walks his way in through. But, you know, Ronin were just so far ahead in numbers, they were going to get that round either way. But Rando could have stayed alive pushing to last if he let one of his teammates get in front of him. But it still works out anyways. Ronin secure the round, keeps it moving in transition. I like what they're doing. And that last mid worked out really well, getting early rockets out of Delpo. So I think Rando's going to do it again. And yeah, you see him poking around for Delpo. He's just trying to push Delpo as far back as he possibly can, and while keeping everybody else in front of him. You see, he actually backs off because he's not quite sure. Is there someone above me top left? And he realizes there's not. Then he pushes bottom left, and then they 2v1 Sen, which I really like. Anytime you can, you want to use your number advantage there. And ooh, rushing that push there to second point. I get what he's trying to do. He's trying to move his team into fourth point as quickly as he can. I just don't think he... I don't know if he just thought his team was moving through this upper hallway faster than they actually were. Like, if they were pushed in and, like, pushing pressure, that jump would have been perfect over the top to put pressure onto the combo. But, yeah, he ends up going a little bit faster than he anticipated. Or you know, the other team was just more defensively prepared than he anticipated. And so he ends up getting caught out there. But regardless, it's still working out fine here. EVL potentially doing a push into middle, it looks like, from Valley. Rando's rolling out here and keeping control of the high ground. I like the way he's playing these crates. And he's just able to throw rockets down onto the low ground and push back Sen again with that shotgun. So Ronin are able to force that back and, you know, regain their control. It looks like it was looking dicey for a second. EVL had a one-man advantage, and they were trying to push in the middle. But once they secured that second kill, the Ronin was able to equalize things. Then EVL had to back off and go back to a second point hold there as Rando tries to work his way down the left side. And you're going to see Rando do this a couple times in this match where he peeks down the left side, almost like he's trying to push into second point, almost like he wants to take the Uber in, and that forces EVL to back up a little bit and gives Strucker a little bit more space when he goes for that sacrifice play. So he's like feigning that push, and now EVL... sorry, the sirens are there. My room is really hot in the summer, and you're going to hear these sirens, but pause here. Yeah, I live in the city. That's going to happen. Right here, I really like this play that Rando does where EVL, they had a man advantage and they're trying to take their Uber into mid. And rather than allowing EVL to Uber into middle, you see the positioning of Zilly's Uber is nowhere close to Uber. So you see that Podolsky very far back there is going to, even if this Uber from Ronin fails, they're going to be able to deny the choke point. And just because this Uber is so deep, Rando could always just jump back out and reset. But once they got that kill into high five, it's looking really good for Rando. Look at the position he's in. He's just so many players. Like, he's able to put pressure onto Sen and Delpo. That's going to force Zilly to flash his Uber a couple times and gives Ronin a much better Uber. He actually catches out Scissor here as well, potentially, by making them flash that even more. And they get a kill on the flank on Garbuglio. So Ronin go up 2-man advantage. Both soldiers dead for EVL. They're going to be able to walk their way in here through the lower area. And there's no opportunity for EVL to contest this. I like the way that Rando's kind of jumping up and clearing room for his team. With the 2-man advantage, they could move even faster if they wanted to. They could try and shove Shutter Door and get to EVL and keep things moving, but instead this is just a team style thing, the way that Ronin plays. They like to play very slow. So despite the 2-man advantage, they're just like, you know what? We'll let you get the respawners. We're just going to go for our Shrugger sacrifice once again, and Shrugger's already getting into last and going for that sacrifice play, so there he goes. That's just the way that Ronin likes to play, though, especially on a map like Metalworks, which is so slow. There's just so much space you have to clear out that rather than rush it and potentially botch the play and give EVL an opportunity to push back, they say, you know what, we're just gonna take our advantage, take the next point, and then slow it down and force you into a bad position once again. Because when they slow the game down, now Ronin has full control, right? There's really no opportunity for EVL to push out of the situation without taking large risks. And that's what Ronin wants them to do. They say, EVL, we want you to push up in the lobby. We want you to make a mistake. Maybe Mela hiding in the corner over there is going to be able to force an Uber or do something else onto you. Looks like Rando's able to walk it in here and take the ammo, although Shrugger does go down, so Ronin's got to retreat. And Scissor, luckily for Rando, does miss that shot. So, and that's not an unheard of shot for Scissor to make. So, yeah, now Rando's just playing footsies here, and again, he's trying to slow down that push from EVL. But EVL, they feigned the push, and then Garbuglio goes for the sacrifice play, and really crisp rockets there from Rando to get that air shot, secure the frag on Garbuglio, and keep NERCY healthy. So, looks like Rando's going to try and make a play onto Scissor, but actually gets destroyed. And again, Scissor's such a good sniper. You really are not going to be able to do that to him that many times. It's just it was an amazing shot, to be fair. But yeah, Rando tried to go for a, you know, if Garbuglio's going to sack onto us, then I'm going to sack back onto you guys, right? And he goes for a speed shot through the lobby. It just wasn't successful. But even if he dies, it's no big deal there, you know? Like, Ronin are still going to be able to retain second point here, and EVL are not really getting opportunities to push out a last. That's exactly what Ronin want. So, looks like they've exchanged Ubers at last point now, and Rando sees an opportunity onto Garbuglio right side, gets the kill there. That's huge. And with Zilly going down, now all Rando has to do is play it nice and slow, spam from distance, take down the gun, and just play it nice and slow. Good bomb there from High Five to put the pressure, almost kills Rando. But now High Five's in a lot of trouble. Rando's able to play it slowly and just walk his way in to last, and good heel rotations here from Ronin keeps Rando alive just barely, and they get this. They should get this point. Yeah, NERCY's gonna put the capture point down, and that's gonna be it. So, again, Rando's not really rushing it, right? He got that spam kill onto Garbuglio, and then he just slowly works his way in through main. Spams down the gun, just takes it one threat at a time. So rather than biting off more than you can chew, just always attacking the closest threat to your medic. First it's the sentry gun, then it's the bombing High Five, and then you just kind of push your way in from there. And really nice job by Ronin to rotate the heals and make sure that they're just slowly but surely securing that round. So now they're up 2-0, and we're only going to cover 3 rounds in this demo. I'm just going to keep it short for today. It looks like Ronin's going to be playing, again, Rando's going to be playing on the underneath area, putting good rockets in, getting a lot of value here, just hitting rockets on virtually everybody. He's not really trying to get kills. You notice the way he's playing? He's just going for damage. And if you do that enough times, you're going to get kills. But I'm going to pause it right there. I just want to make sure I make that point very clear. You do not have to start and finish the kill. You can start the kill and let someone else finish it off, or someone else can start a kill and then you can finish it off. But you do not have to start and finish the kill. Survivability is of the utmost importance, right? And just making sure that you're getting value. If I do more damage to you than I'm taking, I'm going to get a lot of value out of that play. So once they get these initial kills, Rando goes for a really sick bomb here, and I really like the decision making that he made. There were a couple players behind him over there by the truck, but he knew that Mela and Shrugger were going to secure those kills easily. And Rando, thinking one step ahead, jumps onto the shack here and puts pressure onto Zilly. So if he moved quicker, if Zilly was a little bit slower, right, and if Zilly tried to help out his truck, Rando would have jumped behind and pinched them off and cut them off and not allow them to back off. Zilly just barely surviving here with taking this rocket. Now, the other thing that he does here too is even if he doesn't get Zilly, and even if the truck doesn't go down, Rando is in a position where he can drop down and pinch them, or just stay on the high ground and pinch them, and just not allow the players from truck to back out alive. So, and you see how healthy Melee is, you see how healthy Shrugger is. He's able to jump away, but only at a time where he is so certain that NERCY is going to be safe, right? So that's key, because he's not just letting players get behind him. He's jumping at a perfect timing where these players go down, and he's trying to put pressure onto Zilly. Now, again, you do not need to finish Zilly. See how look the way Shrugger and Mela are pushing forward, and it looks like Mela is going to secure the kill, right? And I like the way they do this. And the other good thing about Rando, what he did right here was he recognized that the most immediate threat to Zilly was Shrugger. So Shrugger is going to be the target that Delpo is going to try and shoot. So because even though Rando's a little bit hurt, he knew that Shrugger was going to be the target, so he can walk in and help Shrugger secure that kill onto Delpo, and then even picks up the second kill there on the scout. So really nicely done by Rando. Unfortunately, Garbuglio makes a sick play from behind, is able to secure some stuff, but ultimately NERCY stays alive, does not force her Uber, and that's going to give Ronin huge Uber advantage pushing last. So Randon's going to get forward spawn here, and one of the things that if you watch a player like Lansky play Pocket Soldier is that Lansky will swap back and forth between gunboats and shotguns. So in a situation like this where Rando's trying to catch up to his team, Lansky would be running gunboats and trying to catch up. And I think that that's one way that Rando could improve his play, maybe, is that maybe he could run gunboats here, but instead he just plays it slow. He uses his shotgun. He's going to stay consistent that way, and then just takes the arrow from NERCY instead. So it still works out just fine. They're going to Uber in through the main. Rando does a really great move on the right side here. What this move over here does is it cuts off the spawn, so anyone who's hurt trying to back up into spawn can't back up, and he also goes for like a flank, so it does put pressure from the side. Unfortunately, he just didn't read the situation exactly right, and his Ubered players coming in through main, it fell apart there. They took in Badonsky to try and get the sentry gun down, and unfortunately they just weren't strong enough to hold off EVL, and so they had to back off of that. And once they backed off, the pressure was off, and then Rando got pinched on the right side. But if the Uber had been better from Ronin, if it had been stronger, then Rando would have been in a perfect position to capitalize and make a really good play there, but unfortunately it just didn't work out for his team. So now they're down 30%, and Zilly is very far ahead in Uber, so they're expecting a push. And you can see that Mela is peeking the left side alleyway, trying to create a distraction. He immediately goes down, and that's going to be bad because Evil's going to push their way into mid. Missed air shot here from Rando, but he stays in here because he knows that Nursey is so close to getting her Uber. Now, Sen's trying his best to force the Uber, doesn't get the force, and now Rando's in a really good Uber right here. He jumps in deep to try and trap Zilly in play, but the same problem happens here that happened just moments ago on last point. Rando, again, he thinks that his combo is more secure than it actually is, and so he jumps behind Zilly, trying to trap Zilly in play, right? Because he knows he has such a much better Uber that he could try and trap Zilly and secure those kills. But what ends up happening is Zilly and the team push underneath him into lobby behind him, and he's not in position to defend against that. So now he's stuck. He was like really indecisive. He's like, oh, should I kill Delpo or should I just go back and help my team? He was just in a bad spot right there. So just a little bit of a misread, but you know what, Ronin had the right, like Rando had the right idea, which is you pop the Uber second and then you jump in there and you just do a lot of damage with your Uber, with your better Uber. Not gonna work out for them this time. Rando, I like the spot that he picked right here. He's gonna be able to spot the rotation from Zilly to the right side alleyway. So he's able to help spam the upper door and also keep it on the left. Now Mela's in a bit of trouble here on the left side. Rando's going to jump forward and try and relieve pressure off of Mela, but that puts him in a very bad spot. You see that he's not in position to back out of second and gets caught by high five. So unfortunately for Rando, he just did not... it's tough, you know, you're trying to help out Mela, but you know, you're not going to be in position to get out, and Mela ends up going down anyways. So I kind of wish that Rando backed off and stayed alive there instead of trying to help Mela out in upper. You saw that when he did jump upper, there was no opportunity to kill Delpo, so it was all for naught, you know. And good thing though that Nursey is able to back out and keep Uber advantage. Now EVL's coming in hot. They want to push the pressure in before Nursey gets her Uber, but Nursey's just 5% away from it. She's gonna get it here, so she's gonna pop onto Rando. They get the easy kill onto Garbuglio, and this is a great Uber right here, jumping in deep, trapping in all of these players. Delpo, Zilly, Zen, all these guys are trapped in last, and that's what you want to do, right? You pop when you pop a better Uber, when you pop an Uber advantage Uber, Rando jumps in behind them, keeps them trapped in play, and there was no opportunity for the blue team to capture last or put pressure onto Nursey and the rest of the team. That was a really nice play there. That's how you want those Ubers to go. It's just that happens that the last two times that happened before that didn't quite work out the way he wanted it to, but right there it worked out perfectly. Now they're going to keep Uber advantage for their team and continue pushing into the next point there. As something that's really interesting that I noticed that Ronin does is that occasionally you'll see that Nursey likes to go with Mela instead of Rando on the Ubers, and Rando, what he likes to do is when he has very large Uber advantage is he'll just like start like making a lot of space, and you see here that they already have number advantage, they already have Uber advantage, so Rando's going to be jumping in deep, right, clearing a lot of space. He's going to use his really healthy body to create space for his team, and once he's not healthy, once he's at 126, he's going to say, okay, I'm going to slow it down. Mela's healthier than I am, I'm going to slow it down, get the health packs, and just, you know, play my advantages there. And that, again, that's something I really like about Rando's play, just the pacing of it all. Shrugger unfortunately overextends, gets taken down here, and a 30% advantage is good, but they're down 2 players, including the Demo Man. It's going to make it really difficult to hold off middle point, but what they're going to do right here, Rando has a decision point, okay? He says, I'm down 2 players. Am I going to back off and try and, you know, give up all this space, or am I going to try and defend? And what he's going to go for is a defense here with his Uber advantage. But if he goes in too deep, he's going to be too far away from Nursey and not be able to secure kills. Like if he tries to go for Zilly right here, it'd be really hard for him to, because Zilly's just too far away. So what Rando's going to try and do is spam the point, delay it as long as he can, and try and give Badonsky and Shrugger the most time possible to get forward spawns and catch back up into this team fight that's about to happen here. So EVL's coming in, Rando trying to stall, right? Trying to delay as much as he can. Hits a nice rocket on Garbuglio, almost dies. Nice pop there, and tries to secure Garbuglio, but just jumps a little bit too far. That's what I'm talking about. Just jumping a little bit out of range, and Nursey drops him on that Uber there. And you know, I don't think it's Nursey's fault. I think Rando just jumped a little bit too deep, and Nursey wasn't quite in the right position to catch him. So you know, that's just a team thing in general. It's the synergy thing, and he had the right idea. I think he was just barely out of range, because I think Rando had a really good... He had the right idea. He hit the first rocket on Garbuglio, and then he should have been able to finish it off there. And once he finished off that kill, then they could have kept rolling it into second point. And you can see the rest of Ronin has already begun moving it into the next point there. So I like what they're doing right now. Now Ronin, again, this is an opportunity for him to run gunboats to catch up, but he's going to be pretty healthy. and is able to make it to Nursey, so maybe gunboats wasn't the perfect thing there, but yeah, it just shows like there's opportunities to run gunboats in certain spots just to catch up to your team. 20% advantage for him, but they're down Shrugger, and EVL could potentially do a dry push into mid, so that's what they need to do. They need to rotate around to the left side of mid and block this. Rando's low on ammo, so he's going to be a little bit slow on this rotation. EVL already getting their way into Valley, and Benoski's there with the trap, gets Garbuglio. That's big. That's huge, actually. Now, Rando jumps the high ground, and again, you'll see him do this over and over again. This Shack just using that high ground to control, and EVL, they don't really have any options at that point, right? They can either push closer towards Truck, but then they'd be pinched by Rando from the high ground, and they only have 2 scouts here, so they don't have anybody to contest Rando on the high ground. The scouts just cannot access this top Shack. They have to give up all that space, so I really like that play there by Rando. And they have themselves a 30% advantage, about 25%. So they need to move it quickly through the alleyway and get into second point while Garbuglio is dead. And because Garbuglio is dead, there's no chance for a soldier to jump in and force the Uber out of Nursey without them taking heavy costs from EVL. So Mela, gets caught by a trap by Delpo on the right side, and Rando is in trouble. Now, okay, so prior to this, they had the right idea with Mela jumping in there, but just Mela, if Mela stayed alive, this would have been perfect. But now that Mela's dead, even though they're exchanging Ubers here, like, this is a really bad Uber to exchange, really, because Mela is going to take a long time to catch up. He's got to wait 11 seconds, then he's got to roll out and try and get the 4th point in time to block to be in the team fight. Rando should be delaying instead. He should be trying to stall, just get the easy capture time down. But this is what happens when you move too quickly. You're trying to exchange these Ubers, then you realize, okay, I'm trying to, like, fight it out here, and he ends up just like not in the best position here because they're down a player. So this resulting team fight's bad. He's gonna get 2v1 on the right side, and the rest of the team's gonna get collapsed on through the alleyway. So I feel like Ronin had the right idea. Again, if Mela had stayed alive, that would have been a perfectly fine solo Uber to take. But because Mela was dead, he needed to instead back off of that, not use Uber, and try and stall as long as he could. Maybe get a better Uber on second point, just stall it out. But because EVL Gaming were able to come in and just overwhelm that flank side, Rando got pinched off, he dies, and then yeah, they're just able to shove their way towards the middle. So this is exactly what Ronin doesn't want to happen. They do not want to give EVL, they never want to give EVL an opportunity to capture middle. This is just the way that Ronin plays. This is their style. They don't want to take risks. They don't like high risk, high reward. They like low risk, low reward. That's the way that Ronin likes to play. And they never want to give EVL an opportunity to have any sort of counterplay. Now, Rando's spot right there, this time it's the same play as last time, actually, where he spots underneath, he sees that Zilly is going to the right side alley, and he jumps in deep and gets Delpo this time. So remember last time he tried to go for this play, he tried to go for Delpo, then Delpo wasn't really there, and then he backed off and died. This time, he's actually able to jump directly in and does trade for Delpo. It's a very risky play, and it actually takes a lot of skill to get that play off there. That rocket that he hit at the end to kill Delpo was a really difficult one to hit. So props to Rando for that one. Anytime you can trade your soldier for a demo man, it's worth it, but I think for most players, that kind of play would not be the right play to make. It's just very risky, and you risk getting picked off, which happened before. You know, Rando is 1 for 2 on that play. So looks like they're able to very cleanly take control of middle. I love what Ronin's doing here. And again, Rando just jumping huge. He makes big jumps to clear a lot of space to give Nursey an opportunity to not force. Oh wow, Nursey survives with 5 health. That was really close. I don't think they saw Garbuglio behind them, but Rando had a really crisp air shot onto Garbuglio. That's like the second time he's done that, to deny Garbuglio the opportunity to force Nursey. It was so close. Nursey, she's holding onto that Uber there and is able to milk it away. So now an 80% advantage for them. They can take 4th point for free by walking it in. Same exact concept, jumping in, creating space, and pacing. Okay, and keeping all your enemies in front of you, not rushing to play. I love what they're doing here. 50% advantage. They're moving it quickly because they don't want to allow them to set up at last point. And now they're going to take the Uber in. And right here, it's a really interesting Uber. They're going to take, looks like they're taking a Scout Demo Man, and that's because EVL is running a heavy. Okay, and if they were running a sentry, that would be perfectly fine for that as well. They have the demo man that can spam down the sentry, but by taking a scout demo, Shrugger can immediately jump onto Sen and try and take him down there, and Rando's going to lurk behind on this Uber rather than taking it in. Now, he does spot out Garbuglio top right side, so he's going to look to finish off that frag, and once he gets the kill, he's just backed off, plays it nice and slow, doesn't take any of the heals, and, you know, just spams the point from range, and I really like what he's doing there. Even staying still for the arrow for Nursey to hit that, and then walks it right in to finish off this round. So really nicely played there by Rando and his team. A clean 3-0 first half there for Ronin, and I hope you guys learned something. Again, the key takeaways for you guys is if you're going to play shotgun pocket soldier, make sure you're keeping all of the enemies in front of you. Make sure you're walking slowly, slowly enough to keep everybody in front of you, to not leak anything through you behind you. You want to make sure you're plugging all those leaks, but at the same time, you're also, jumping forward, creating space at the right opportunities. And part of what makes Rando so good at Pocket Soldier is that he's just able to read that really, really well. There's a couple of mistakes in there that I pointed out, but generally speaking, he jumps forward and creates space at the right times, and then he plays it slowly at the right times and make sure that Nursey isn't getting herself into too much trouble. So I really like that game there from Ronin. I hope you guys learned something. Make sure to comment, and oh geez, my window, it's so busy out there. God. All right, I'm gonna end this video here. I'll see you guys on the next one. Catch you next time.